So the the day before I went to see The Green Knight, or not the day, like the week before I went to see The Green Knight, I saw another movie, which while thinking about The Green Knight, I thought of this movie while I was watching The Green Knight. I thought of this movie because I'm not saying they're similar, but I feel like these two movies are cut from the same cloth. I'm talking about the movie Mandy, starring Nicolas Cage. And boy howdy, this was a fascinating flick. This was an odd one. This was Nicolas Cage has a very interesting career. I think we all know this. He's hit or miss, and even when he misses, god damn it, he misses out of the park. So when I was going into Mandy, I knew that this was a crazy one. Just by the poster, as you can see, this was going to be a crazy Nicolas Cage movie. But man, my expectations were ripped to shreds because this is not the type of movie you think it is. This is not the type of crazy Nicolas Cage movie you think it is, man. This is not even... I don't even think this is a crazy Nicolas Cage movie, to be honest with you. I think this is like a perfectly normal Nicolas Cage movie. But it is still a crazy movie in and of itself. Even without Nicolas Cage, even if it was starring somebody else, this would be a crazy movie. So, with Nicolas Cage, I think it's like the perfect casting because his sort of like odd, out of left field sensibilities blend together so well with this movie. So, if you don't know what Mandy is about, try not to. I don't know. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about. If you don't know what it's about, go watch it. And if you do know what it's about, you know why I'm not telling them, because it's like you're gonna go in thinking it's gonna be another type of movie than it is if I tell you what it's about. But it's not. It's a very, very, very strange movie. I will say that like The Green Knight, there are lots of very long. In this movie, I wouldn't say they're quiet moments, but there are very long moments of just letting the gravity of the situation soak in, is what I'd say. There's a lot of strobe lights. I will warn you, there's a lot of strobe lights. Hot damn, there was a lot of strobe lights. To the point of like it bothered me. And usually strobe lights don't bother me, but like I was like, the fuck am I looking at? The movie plays with your vision a lot in a really neat way. There is a scene where the villain of the movie, so to speak, is his face is like right up to the camera, and he's speaking to the camera, like to the camera. He's speaking, and his face, it sort of slowly morphs into somebody else's face, and then goes back, and then goes back, and then goes back, and to the point where like by the end of it, and it's like a really long shot of him speaking to the camera. You're like, I don't know whose face I'm looking at anymore. I don't even know if this is like a face anymore, which was a really cool. I really like that shot. It was a really fascinating. The whole movie is sort of shot really fascinatingly. It's told in chapter. Let me tell you something, man. You know, a movie's crazy when I started clapping and hooting and hollering when the title of the movie showed up. Like when the movie finally said Mandy, I was like, oh my god, what? And I started like I hopped out of bed is how excited I got when I saw the title pop up. It was a real cool build up. It was a really cool build up. You know when in like dubstep or like club songs, you know, the build up, the build up, the build up, the build up to the bass drop. And this movie is pretty much like structured that way. There's a lot of build up to this bass drop, but when that bass drops, this movie goes fucking off the wall in the best way possible, because Nicolas Cage is in it. And let me tell you something about Nicolas Cage being in this movie. He doesn't say a lot. which was surprising. He doesn't speak that much in the movie. Nobody does, really. This is a very quiet movie, dialogue-wise. Like, there's not a lot said. It's more about, I don't know, the actions of the person and the consequences of that action. And I'm telling you something. Look, Nicolas Cage. This is probably one of the best Nicolas Cage performances, and that's saying something because he barely says anything. He says like 10 sentences, and one of the sentences he says is "cheddar goblins." That's it. That's one of the sentences. Absolutely incredible for him. There's a really long scene too of him just like crying in a bathroom, covered in blood and shit. I almost started crying watching that scene. Like, honestly, that sounds weird. Like, he's in his underwear, he's crying in a bathroom, and he's drinking a bottle of vodka, and he's screaming, crying. And you're like, well, that just sounds like a Nicolas Cage movie. You'd be surprised. You'd probably start crying too if you saw it. It's an amazing scene, amazing performance. Like, plot-wise, it's really fascinating what this movie is trying to say about sort of I don't want to say toxic masculinity, but it is sort of just the ego of men is what I'd say is this movie is about. It's sort of just like the ego of men and how women are in always affected by it, and it's great. My God, what's his wife's name? I forgot the actress's name. Mandy's name, the character Mandy. She's great. She's got a great chunk of movie to work with, and it's really the way they made her look in this movie is really fascinating. They don't like. I don't know. Like there's a history with these people that they don't explain, and I really like that. Like, she's got a story about her, and so does Nicolas Cage, but Mandy Moore Mandy Moore specifically has got a history behind her, and they don't necessarily say what it is. You see it in her face, though. You see it in her eyes that she's got something about her, and it's just it's I don't know. I really like the way the world was built in this. And then the fucking bad people come in, and those people, boy, I don't know, they cast some of like the most perfectly crazy looking folks in this movie, and god damn it, those people were fucking creepy. And they also include, there's like fucking Hellraiser, I don't want to give it away, there's like some Hellraiser vibes at a certain point in this movie, and you're like, okay, well, this is like, these are like the main antagonists. Not really, but they're cool. But like, there is an amazing, okay, I can't get into spoilers with this. I can't spoil what's going on in this movie. You just gotta see it, man. You just gotta see it. If you've seen the movie Mandy, you know what I'm talking about. And I was thinking of seeing it for this channel, but I'm glad I didn't, because like, this movie's too good to like, this movie's too good. It's too good to joke around and watch. I would have just been silently watching in astonishment watching this movie, because it's too good. There's like moments of animation. There's moments of just absolute trippy LSD trip type shit, and it's wonderful. It's almost, I don't want to say Lynchian, but I mean, I could see a parallel between this and something like Eraserhead. Whereas Eraserhead is, black and white and cold and just really fucking grungy. This is like Eraserhead for the for the psychedelic folks, for the damn space people. Like, there's just some wild things going on in this movie. This is like Eraserhead if it was a fucking slasher movie. And also, it's violent. It's incredibly violent. I will say Nicolas Cage has a chainsaw fight. Just to let you know. If the words Nicolas Cage chainsaw fight don't convince you to watch this movie, I don't know, man. I don't know about you. That would make me want to run to the theaters to see that. Nicolas Cage chainsaw fight? What if I told you Nicolas Cage forges like this heavy metal axe? Still don't want to see it? There's a tiger at a certain point. There's a tiger in this movie. There's a part where Nicolas Cage is just like head to toe covered in blood. And it's beautiful. it's a fascinating movie. It's a fascinatingly quiet movie, and then it doesn't get quiet at all. It gets really fucking nuts. And even when it's nuts, it's still a gorgeous looking movie. Visually, this is a gorgeous looking movie. All around, it's a gorgeous looking movie. Their house, Mandy and Nicolas Cage's house, is like all like windows, which is really cool looking. And I there's nothing I could say without giving like the crazy shit away, but like, and you're like, well, you said there's a chainsaw fight. That's not the crazy shit. That is, but like, man, there's some odd stuff in this flick, and I don't know, man. Look, if you want to see a movie kind of like, if you want to see Nicolas Cage do a revenge movie, and it's like on shrooms, there you go. You got Mandy. Highly recommend it. I might watch it again sometime soon, because again, like with the Green Knight, it I don't know how to explain this. The Green Knight and Mandy are like, then on the surface they could be one thing. You're like, oh, it's this revenge movie, or oh, it's this medieval tale. But like when you start watching it, it's not the movie that you think it would be, but it's exactly the movie it should be, which is good. It's very good. It's very good that it's a movie like that. It takes some weird directions and some risks and some. There's some things I don't like, but all around, I mean, what a movie. The things I don't like are also like, I mean, little fucking nitpicks here and there. I feel like it maybe it took too much time setting everything up, but I don't mind, because the last like 30 minutes of this movie are well worth the wait. And the music, I'm probably playing the music over this video right now. The music, holy shit, dude. I gotta get the vinyl of Mandy's soundtrack, because the music plays a huge part in how the vibe of this movie is shown, and how you feel the vibe of this movie. This is a vibe of a movie, is what I'm trying to say. And if you don't like mesh with the vibe that this movie is trying to give, then you're not gonna appreciate it, and that's fine. But it was totally the vibe. I got with the vibe, and I'm glad I did. So that's, look, I just rambled about Nicolas Cage's Mandy for an hour, and I didn't even get to talk about the goddamn Cheddar Goblins. There's a lot in a very small, quiet movie. There's a lot. So yeah, that's my review of Mandy, I guess. What'd you think of Mandy? Did you see Mandy? Tell me what you guys thought of it. What did it mean to you? Because I just can't. I still think it's about like masculinity and stuff like that, or like the fragile male ego, but it could be about something else, because there's some weird shit. But tell me what you thought about it. Tell me what you thought about that ending. What happened there? That last shot is a very interesting shot, and I don't know how to explain it. It's a very interesting ending. So tell me what you thought of that ending. And yeah, I'll see y'all next week for what movie would I review next? What movie should I review next? I'm reviewing like all the horror movies that I've already seen, so people won't like ask me to, do it for the channel, because I've already seen them. I'll review next week. I'll review It Follows, because I really like that movie. I might watch it again. I've been in the mood. So yeah. And if you have any movies you want me to riff about, and such and so forth and so on, etc., leave them in the comments. Send me a message. What movies should I watch? Anyway, this is the moon. See y'all next week. I am still tripping out over this movie, clearly.